Today, what I'm doing is the fourth installment running through my scales book. So far, we've gone through just the C major scales in all positions, right? Up and down the fretboard. Then we took a look at the relative minor scale, or the Aeolian mode of the C major scale. So C major and the relative minor. Right, you can hear even though the notes are identical, when you start a scale in a different place and you emphasize a new tonal center, it changes all of the relationships between the notes. Wrap your head around that one. I'm still wrapping my head around that one. Then we went to the major pentatonic scale. The pentatonic scale removes the semitones, so we take out the F and we wipe that one out, the F, and we wipe out the B, right? We don't want to hear that B. That's gone now, so we get rid of that semitone as well. And so today, and we extrapolated that C major pentatonic scale in all positions of the fretboard. Today we're going to look at the C minor pentatonic scale, which is exactly the same fingerings, except it has a different tonal center. And it's really, really important to drive this one home, because if you really get it, it can change your playing forever and the way you hear. Okay, now, so key of C major, our tonal center, and we're talking specifically about pentatonic, will be C. Change that to minor pentatonic. Very different. And that's what we want to do. We want to take that minor pentatonic scale and move it across the entire fretboard, and I've just got this abbreviated version of that for the minor. First position. Second position. Now, I should, in case you're just popping in for the first time, the C major pentatonic, we worked at it like this, right, with a complete fretboard, and so when we get to, so we work through each scale throughout the entire fretboard and now we're doing the same thing with minor, except we've just abbreviated that same idea. Assuming that you've already been through the C major pentatonic scale in all positions, okay. So yeah, and now everyone seems to know this pentatonic scale, the minor pentatonic in fifth position. It is not the blues scale, okay, and I've heard even people that should know better call it the blues scale. And then the next position, seventh position, we start an octave higher in this case. I just moved to the eighth position because it's strong fingers. Right, minor or minor. And then ninth position. and then 12th position. And 12th position would be the same as the one we started with. Okay. And each one of these scales is being played in a very and in the same position. We're not doing vertical position is the word I'm looking for. Each one of these scale positions is a vertical position, meaning we're not moving, across the fretboard this way. This is the first thing to do is get the vertical positions underneath your fingers. Okay, now I've thrown in a blues in the key of A here. It's sort of common. Make up some silly stuff at the end there. So that's a basic 12-bar blues. You've also heard it like this, right? Or whatever, slow, fast, and so on. The point I want to make here is that in the A minor pentatonic scale is often used in the blues. But the A7 chord, let's just take a look at the A7 chord. The A7 chord has a C sharp in it. But the pentatonic scale does not. So why does it work over an A7? Well, that flat 3 is called a blue note, and that flat 3 is found in the pentatonic scale, right? And if you're aware of that and sort of know how to manipulate it, it can be a great sound. If you want to take it one step further, you can think of altering the pentatonic scale and adding that C sharp to define the A7. You get the idea. But pentatonic scale, there's the pentatonic scale. The same thing goes for the D7. These two notes are in the pentatonic scale, but this F sharp note is not in the pentatonic scale. It's really the sixth, not the minor sixth, but actually a major sixth. Right. So that's not in the pentatonic scale, and with the E7 chord, the G sharp is not in the pentatonic scale. Now, I've heard a lot of players, in the past who just play pentatonic over a blues like this. But if you want a bit more of a challenge, try to define the chords that are going by. And keep in mind that, in the case of the F sharp over the D7, if you wanted to look at it all as being in the key of A, well, that would be, a 6 or a 13. Right? So it all works. You just have to use your ears. Minor pentatonic is a great template to start with when learning how to solo over the blues. But keep in mind, if you're going to bring up a backing track online and it's a blues in A, and you're just going to play pentatonic, you'll probably sound pretty good. It won't sound too bad. But keep in mind that there are, in this case, 3 notes that are not in the pentatonic scale, namely the C sharp, which is the third of A7, the F sharp, which is the third of the D, and the G sharp, which is the third of the E7 chord. Okay, cool. I think that's about it for this one. What I'm hoping you have gleaned from this is that you have to work your way up and down the fretboard with any scale that you learn. You don't want any gaps in the fretboard. You don't want to just play in one box and not know what's going on here or what's going on there, right? So the whole idea of an approach like this, covering the entire fretboard, is really important. And the idea of relative scales, C major and A minor are relative, even though they are in different keys. And they sound very, very different, even though they use the same notes. Be aware of that, and so whatever scales you do learn them in all positions of the fretboard. I think that's about it for the C minor pentatonic scale, which is relative to the C major pentatonic scales. This is out of a book called Scales by me, under the Guitar Pal name, and you can pick that up on Amazon. The link is in the description. It helps support this channel and helps support my habit of coffee drinking. Thank you very much, and see you soon.